guys, today we are going to be testing out the new collaboration between Ofra and Samantha March. This is their second collab. I'm so excited because I've been so into the products from the first collab. I just got the bronzer and like the rest of this stuff, I want to say like a month and a half ago from Ofra and PR, and I have been using that bronzer literally every day since I got it. Like, it has become my go-to favorite bronzer, so I'm very excited to be testing out the new collection. They did send me the PR box. I will show you everything that is inside of it. But first, if you don't know who Samantha March is, she is amazing. I will link her channel down below. I've been following her and watching her for a very long time, and I actually was so lucky to meet her last year at an event in LA, and she is everything that you hope and more. Like, she is just such a kind, loving, just very calm person, and she has a really nice presence, and it's very comfortable to be around her, and you feel like you've known her for a long time. And that can't really be said for everybody. And I feel like, especially when you're watching people online, like, you never know what they're going to be like in real life until you meet them. But she is exactly the same as she is in her videos, and I love her so much. Congratulations, Samantha. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to dig into this. I have to admit though that the colors in this palette in particular isn't really like my aesthetic, but I'm definitely going to, you know, spin it in a way that I'm going to make it me, and I'm excited to play with it. So let me show you the box that it came with. This is called the Belongs To collection, and you can actually write your name inside of the PR box if you want to like keep it, which I think is so cute. And it says on it, "Life's a Draft," which is perfect because she is an author and she writes book. I think she is on her 8th or 9th novel now. I'm not completely sure. I should know this because I listened to her podcast like 2 days ago where she was talking about her latest book, but my memory is awful. Anyway, there's a cute little message inside of the box. I want to read it to you because I think it's just so fun. So it says, "The plot twist you didn't see coming. Life is truly just a draft. On the anniversary of our first collaboration together, I am back with Ofra for a brand new collection. After a year of so much uncertainty and so many changes, launching a collection titled Belongs To just seems right. We can never be sure where our paths will take us next, but our choices and how many drafts we write for our lives belong to us. Although I don't know where the next plot twist is coming from, the ability to spark joy and creativity through makeup and art is never diminished for me thanks to my Sam squad. This collection picks off where the first one left off, including an eye and face palette with pops of purples and a new highlight, plus new lip gloss shades to match up with the much loved and my personal fave, Millie. I wanted this collection to be as versatile as possible, to take you from neutral knockout to glam and glossy, depending on which draft you are on. Enjoy the sequel, XO Samantha." So cute. I'm super excited to be playing with this, and it also came with like a little sticker sheet, which I think is just adorable. I love little touches like that. I know Lethal came out with something similar with their latest palette where you could like decorate it with stickers, and it's just different, and it's just fun, and I love that. So let's go ahead and get into trying these. So I guess I'm going to start by putting on a lip product because my lips are very dry, so I'm going to use one of the glosses here. I'm probably going to use this one. This one is very, very cute. This is in the shade Peony, and it looks to be a very similar color to one of the gloss bombs. Is it in the shade? What is that one called? Yeah, it's kind of sheer. Let me just give it a little bit more of a swatch. I think it's the one in the shade Fuzzy, which is like a pink sparkly gloss. This is very cute. I'm going to find a lip liner to just use with this. So let's do this one. This is kind of a mauve lip liner in the shade Oh Snap from ColourPop. It looks more mauve, but it's actually more of like a nude when you put it on. I'm just going to sharpen it a little bit. I really like the ColourPop eyeliners. They do kind of fall apart sometimes, but I think the formula on them is really nice. Let's see if I can find a mirror here. Just gonna put this on real quick. And I'm just going to basically fill in my lips with this since I am going to use kind of a sheer gloss. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. I did not smell it before, so let's do that. It smells kind of sweet, but also not that much. Like, it's not really a scented gloss, but it doesn't have like an off-putting smell to it. It just smells very nice. The formula is very nice as well. I really, really like this. It's not thick at all, and it leaves a very, very nice shine on the lips. I like this a lot. Let's go ahead and try out the palette. So like I was saying, obviously this color story isn't really like what I normally go for, but I was thinking we could do maybe something, try to get this as purple as possible, and then maybe do like a big fun wing in a different color or something like that, just to kind of spice it up and make it a little bit more me. So I got a package from a subscriber the other day. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I don't want to mention names because I always feel just awkward doing that. But she sent me a huge packet from a Canadian drugstore brand called Quoa, I think is how you pronounce it. She wrote a little note in the package saying it was pronounced like Woa. So I'm guessing it's Quoa, even though it's written like Q-U-O. So I'm gonna say Quoa and just hope that's correct. But she sent me one of these little eyeshadow pots. And this is, you know, an eyeshadow, but she was saying that she thought I could use this as like a wing. And I think that's a really good idea. So I want to try that. It just looks like a gel eyeliner, but it does say eyeshadow on it. But maybe we're just gonna try it and see how it goes. So I'm gonna start by priming my eyes just so we can cover up all the staining that I have from the blue eyeshadow that I wore yesterday, because story of my life. So I'm just gonna use my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base as usual here. So let's see, we have a little bit of everything in this palette, mostly kind of mid-tone mattes. So I think I just need to use one, possibly two here. So I'm gonna start with this one and kind of just put that into my crease as well as underneath my eye. And then maybe I'll do a little bit of this more kind of satiny purple as well, just to purple it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and start with the shade right here. So I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm basically just going to pack this into my crease and just sort of blend it out. I'm gonna keep the shape of this quite round because I do want to do one of my big wings. So when I do my wing, I want the wing to extend past the eyeshadow on the outer corner of my eye. So I'm not going to really blow this out at all, but this is a beautiful color. That's a really, really pretty purple. It's definitely a little bit more purple than mauve, I would say, and I like that because mauves have never really been like my favorite. So I'm happy that there's one that's a little bit more on the purple side in here. That is really, really pretty. And it's covering up that staining very nicely, which is exactly what I needed today. I needed something a little bit dark and intense just so I could really cover that up. But personally, I don't really care about staining. It's not a big deal for me because I wear makeup most days, so I can just cover it up the next day if I need to. And if I'm not wearing makeup, I'm probably not going anywhere, so like no one's gonna see if I have a blue stained eye anyway. Oh, I probably forgot to mention the prices for this. So you can buy the whole PR box and it is $59, which includes the palette as well as the glosses and like obviously the box. Or you can buy the lip gloss trio, which is $29, and then the palette itself is $39. So I was looking at this and I did not watch her reveal video because she posted it yesterday and I was really busy, so I just haven't watched it. But I'm curious if this is supposed to be a blush or a highlighter for darker skin tones. It could probably be either. I'm guessing this is a bronzer and this is a highlighter. I think this is a new highlighter as well, so I'm excited to test that one out. Let's go ahead and just finish the eyes first though. I'm like all over the place, but honestly, I'm very excited. And I'm very happy for Sam. I'm so happy for Sam. Like that is just so exciting. Also, if you guys are not listening to her podcast, I will link it down below so you can go check it out. But I love her. I think that she is just such an easy person to listen to. And I love how she's not afraid to like share things about her life that, you know, maybe aren't going that great. And she's very relatable in a lot of ways. And I just find her very pleasant to listen to. Just going to take the shade underneath my eye as well, just so we can keep it the same on the top and the bottom. But this shade is performing really well, not having any problems at all, and I think the color of this is really, really nice as well. Alright, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that satin shade that I was talking about, this one right here, and I just wanna see if I can get this to be a little bit more purple in my crease here, just to get a bit more of a warmer tone purple. I feel like that's going to work very nicely together, and since this is a satin, it should blend very nicely into my crease as well, which it does appear to do. That's a really, really pretty plum color. I really love colors like this. Super easy color to work with. I'm just blending it into my crease, basically over the shadow that I just put down, just to sort of switch up the color a little bit here. And I'm also going to take this one underneath my eye. I have to admit, these colors are definitely packing more of a punch on the eye than they were when I swatched them, because when I swatched them, they took a little bit of building up, but on the eyes, they're looking very, very nice. So let's go ahead and see what this pot eyeshadow is like. I need to find a brush and just kind of feel what it's going to feel like. Okay, so basically the consistency of this feels like a gel eyeliner. I just want to kind of see how opaque it is. Yeah, that looks very nice and opaque. It's a little bit crumbly. It's not as kind of smooth as an eyeliner would be, so not sure how precise I'm able to be with it, but that is a really, really pretty color. So I'm gonna try to do my big wing for hooded eyes and we'll see how it goes. I will link my tutorial on how to do that up in the corner because it's very hard for me to talk while I do this, so I'm just gonna kind of speed through this and hope for the best.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different.
Okay, so my camera is shut off and I decided to just finish off. I took more of that shadow kind of onto my lid so that when I go in with the shimmer shade, it's going to layer nicely back over. So I think what I'm going to do, this actually turned out really good and I really, really like this eyeshadow pot. I'm shocked that I was able to use like an eyeshadow. I never would have thought to use an eyeshadow like this as a liner. I don't know why, but like it's the same concept as a liner, so I don't know why I didn't think of that, but that is brilliant. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to use the highlighter basically on the rest of my lid because it is like the most metallic and blinding. Some of these other shimmers here are quite like satin-like, which you guys know I want things to be like as intense as possible at all times. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the highlighter, and that's going to kind of tie in the face together nicely too, since I am going to use it on my face. I'm just quickly going to put down some of my NYX glitter primer just so we can really make this pop if I can find my mirror. So I'm just going to put this all over my lid, not going to do anything fancy, just going to basically put the glitter primer where I want my shimmer to go. And I'm not expecting the highlighter to look like a foiled eyeshadow per se, but I just want to give it a little bit of extra something to stick onto here. And then with the same sticky brush, I'm going to pick up some of the highlighter on my brush here. This might not be like super opaque, but we'll kind of just see. I'm going to have to probably go in a few times since this is a highlighter and not an eyeshadow, but that's okay. See how nicely that is layering over that green or turquoise, I should probably say? That looks really nice. I think this is super fun. Obviously, it's not like completely done with this palette, but like I was saying, I needed something a little bit extra just to make this palette a bit more me and a little bit more colorful. Okay, fun. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my eyes. I will come back and I will show you what it looks like, and then we can test out some of these face products too. Okay, so the eyes are done. I did a little bit of turquoise in my waterline. This is fresh from LA Girl. Does this look good with my sweater at all? No. Clearly didn't plan that when I sat down and filmed, but what's new? Let's see. I'm gonna go into this palette and try to use this shade as a blush. It might be a little bit too dark for me. Not really sure, but I figured why not try it, because on here, it's definitely like a shimmery blush if anything, so just gonna go quite light here and see what happens first. I think I'll be able to get away with that as a blush. It's not a kind of blush color that I would normally go for, but that actually looks quite nice. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. It has a very luminous finish, which it probably could be used as a highlighter for a darker skin tone as well. Yeah, I'm not mad at this. That looks really nice. It's definitely not what I expected. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use it as a blush, but I think this looks really nice. Just going to take my powder brush slightly over this just so we can blur the edges a little bit before I go in with a highlighter. So let's see. I'm going to use this brush. This brush was also in the package that I got with a bunch of the Quoa, I almost said Quoa products. So I'm going to test this out. This is it's not quite a fan brush, but it's like halfway to being a fan brush. It's very interesting. I think it's going to work very nicely with the Ofra highlighters because they do tend to be quite intense, and this one is also a little bit, maybe a little too light for me. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and just coat my brush nicely here, and we'll see what it looks like on the skin. I mean, I obviously have it on my eye, so I know how light this is. It's definitely lighter than what I would go for in a highlighter, but the formula of the Ofra highlighters are so nice. Like, that is a really, really nice formula. Like I said, a little too icy for what I would normally go for. I don't really like white-based highlighters on myself personally, but if you are a little bit fairer than me or you don't mind that, I think that you would probably really love that. I think this is a really, really nice highlighter. It definitely gives you a very, very nice glow. Look at that. Like, look how intense that is. That is insane. That is really, really nice. Okay, so those were basically the products. I'm not going to be using the two other glosses here because first off, I already have Millie and I've used that in a couple of videos in the past, and I just don't need more glosses. So I'm probably going to give this one away just to, not be wasteful because I have a ton of glosses. So it's like the last thing I need right now is to open another one that I'm going to use maybe twice. So basically that's going to be it. Again, thank you so much to Ofra and Samantha for sending me this collab. This was so much fun to play with. If you want to know my thoughts on the palette, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, like, this isn't normally something that I would go for, so I feel like I'm not the right person to like review this. Does that make any sense? Like, I feel like if you are the kind of person who likes Samantha's makeup style, you're going to love this. This is definitely a little bit more toned down. It's very easy to work with. The formulas are way more subtle than what I usually use. So for me, I would need something else to kind of just spice this up a little bit. But I think that this would be a beautiful everyday palette for, you know, the person who just likes to do like very simple, more toned down looks, and super easy to work with. Like I said, I think that a lot of people are going to love this. And I'm super happy to have it in my collection and just to be supporting Samantha, because I've been, like I said, I've been watching her for such a long time and I'm such a big fan. So this was so much fun. Thank you again so much to basically everybody involved. Thank you to you guys for watching as always. If you want to see some other videos, I'll put a random one up here if you want to go check that out. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.